Hello everyone, and in this video we're going to work with the views for the question. Let's just start right away. Let's go to quiz here. Then let's copy these things from here. Because we're going to use most of them. Okay, so now let's import from question.models. Let's import question, answer, and vote. Yes, and let's import from question forms. Let's import, let me see, question form and answer form. Okay, also we need to import from Django.core.paginator. We need to import a paginator because we need to paginate all the answers. All the questions. Also we need the course. So from classroom models, let's import the first. Okay, so let's start right away with our new student question. Okay, take a request and it will take the course ID. Perfect. Let's get this one. Let's get but remember we need to change the because in the previous video I messed it up really bad. I messed it up because I didn't put curse here in this one. So, oops. Okay, I'm going to pay attention more to how I type. I know I suck really bad. So request method post. Okay, we're creating a simple. This is simple. The same simple form that we create. Form, question form, request, post. Okay, a form that is valid. Then we get the title, form that clean data, get title. Okay, let me check. It's title and body only. Okay, and body. Okay, so now we just need to split cube, right? Will be question that objects that create, and then here we pass user will be user, title, and body will be body, right? So now we need to add that question. Let me see. I don't think. Let's go to models. Here we need to add the. I forgot. So let's add the questions here model. So from question that models, let's import question. So here let's put questions and many to many field question. So we added a question here to our course. So we save that. We need to run the migrations also. But let's finish this part here, okay? Okay, so we call course and then just put add course that questions that add queue. And what we did, we just basically added the new question that the student created here. So now we return the user to modules. And then we need to pass the course ID. Will be course.id, right? So here, else form, question form. Now here, context, no content. Context will be the form. Simple. So now here, let's return, render, request, and we're going to add these in questions. Let's put new question.html. Okay. Now let's say, oops. Oh. Okay. This I was not working in the views. I was working somewhere, but let's put it there. Let's save. Okay. I'm like, what is going on? Okay, so now let's run the migrations. Make migrations. And then let's migrate. Because remember, I added the questions to curse. So now we can run the, oops. We can run the server again. Okay, I create a new question. Now let's basically load all those questions. So questions, right? Request and then curse ID. You can just copy this one, paste it here, and questions, right? Will be question dot objects that no questions. Let's get it from the curse. So first that questions that all. So that's how we got all the questions from that curse. So now let's work with the pagination here. This is the pagination, right? So paginator will be paginator, just like that. And then we pass the questions here. So questions, and then how many page 10, right? So here page number will be request that get that get. And here we put page. So questions, let's put data, right? Will be the paginator, that one. Paginator that get page number. This is a simple paginator that you can find in the documentation. It's just the same thing here. It's just the same thing here. So now we pass the context will be course first, and then here we put questions, but remember to put questions data here. So we pass the the data from the paginator, not all the objects that we're getting here. So now here return render request questions question. Let's put questions.html, and then here we pass the context. And we forgot to pass the context here, so I'll just put it there. Okay. So now we got all the questions, right? Let's create a question detail. So when we click on that one, we can select, right? So question detail. So request. It will take the curse ID and the question ID. Okay. Let's get the user. And let's create a new variable called moderator. Let's put it false, right? First, let's get the curse. And let's get the equation. Here, let's put question. And here, very important, change it to question ID. Okay, so we got that. So now, what we need to do, we need to get the correct answers first, right? So we can like display on the top. So let's put correct answers. Correct answer. So let's put answer.object.filter, and then question will be question, the object that we just got here, and we need to put its accept answer. Check. Okay, yes, it's accept answer true. So we got, if there is one, we'll get it here. So now we need to get the rest of the question. So let's put, the rest of the answer. So let's put rest answers. So the rest of the answers will be answer.objects filter, and then question will be question. And we got all the rest of the answers, right? Yeah, pretty much. So now what we do? So now we need to mix these two together. So let's do answer. And all answers will be correct answer, and this one rest answer. So they're basically merged now. So now what we can do, we can check if the user is a moderator, and the moderator will be the student that created the question and also the teacher. The teacher will be able to have like moderation in that. So if user equals course that user, that's the teacher, right? Or user equals question that user. Remember, that's the person who created the question. So here we changed moderator to true because it's false up here. Okay. So now because we're going to have a form in question detail for the answer. So if request that method equal post, right? Form, and then we get the answer form right here, request post. So if form that is valid, remember, you just get a body here, form that clean data get body. So after we get that one, we can just answer that objects that create, and then we put the user will be the user question, it's the question up there, and body. Perfect. Now we can return redirect the user to the same view. This URL we haven't created yet, but we're going to name this one question detail that we did back in those the previous examples. So this question details takes the course ID. So let's put course ID will be course ID. And question ID will be question ID, or you can also put that ID, and like it will work either way. So okay, now let's go here, else, form will be answer form, just like that. Okay, now we can go here. Context will be questions. Let's render the questions. No, sorry, the question, because we need to get the information about the question. What else? The answers, these ones, no any of these. So this one, the ones that's like merged. So, oops. Answers and then answers. Okay. Now we pass the curse to curse, comma, and we pass the form, and remember we need to pass the moderator, the moderator, just like that. Okay. Okay, now we can return render. Oops. Return render the request, and then here we put question HTML, or you can put question detail, whatever, context. Okay, let's save that. We got the question detail ready. So now we need to create the two views. We need to create the mark as answer, and the other one like both, right? Those two views. So let's have let me see, course ID, question ID, and let's put the answer ID. Okay. So first, let's get the user, right? And let's get the course and the question. Let's just copy these two, paste it here. Okay. So now let's do the little check here. Let me see. I think I did it somewhere. No. Should be one here, right? Why not? Any question? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's copy this one here. Right here. If user is different from the course user, or user it's different from the question that user. Basically, we're checking if the user is not, or the person who created the question, or the teacher. We're going to return HTTP response forbidden here. Okay. Else, answer, right? We need to get. Let's get the answer from here. Copy that one. Paste it here. Answer ID, then answer. Then we get the answer, and then answer dot is accepted answer. We update that to true. Okay, and then here we save. So now we can return redirect the user to question. We can just copy this one. Question detail. Perfect. Okay, that should work, right? Pay attention here. If the user is not, it's different from the course user, or user is different from the question user, boop. No, you cannot do that, okay? Okay, that's the mark as answer. Now we need the vote. So, oops, here, vote, answer. Request, course ID, and question ID. Okay, so let's get the user, and because we are in, we're going to get the answer ID, right? So answer ID, we're getting it from request that post. We're getting the answer ID, and we're getting the vote type. Because I'm doing it this way because for the vote I'm going to use Ajax, and we are sending with Ajax, we are sending the answer ID, and we are sending the type of vote, up vote or down vote. That's what I'm using. Request the pause here, right? So also we are going to send the vote type. Remember, we're going to use Ajax in this part, okay? So let's try to get the answer. Let me see here. Let's get the answer with the answer ID that's right there. Okay, and then voted. Let me just put like that. Voted. We put votes dot objects dot filter. We're going to check if we voted or not. If we voted previously, so we put user will be user, and answer will be answer. So that's if voted. So if this is successful, it will be created, right? If not, so if it's voted, it means that it's created already. We need to delete it because the person changed his mind or something. So vote that delete. Okay, we delete it because it's a 6. So now if it's not, so we need to okay, here if vote type equals you, so votes that objects that create, right? User answer, and then we pass answer, vote, and then we put you, right? Now else, this means it's a downvote, so let's copy the whole thing. D. So now let's put a return, and we can, so here in the top, let's import, because here let's put, let me see, HTTP response. Let's put HTTP response, right? Let's copy that one. Okay, here. So this one will return an HTTP response, and it's going to return as a response after it's updated. We need to return. So now we call answer, And here we need to call calculate boat. So let's copy this one, because remember we updated the boat, or we changed it, so we need to do the calculation here, so it like updates, and also change the template, right? So we get that, and like that. So that should work. In the next video, we're going to add the URLs for this view that we just created, and then we can start working with the templates and see if these things work. But I hope you get it right here. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.